Today I'll be doing a review of the dcv581h corded and battery powered vacuum cleaner. It comes with two attachments here. This little wand tip and this one here, which seems to be a little misshapen on the bottom here. It's got like a curved contour here, so maybe that's a malformity in the plastic itself. I think this is supposed to be more straight. However, it takes the Dewalt 20-volt batteries, slides in here like this, and then it clicks into position. See the button pop up there. Same thing with the 18-volt batteries. They slide in horizontally. On the first use of the vacuum, it lasted about 45 minutes running continuously, and that was actually being used to suck up water and or dry stuff. Here I have an array of coins, bolts, and then some different types of rocks and such that are different densities and different heaviness, to give you an idea, because we don't really care about the sawdust. Sawdust is going to be great to pick up, that's fine, but we want to really see the power of this if we're going to use it for stuff that's ground into carpet. I also have a carpet down there with some dirt, and then a floor dryer here that's got a bunch of crud and grease and grit and dirt and dust stuck in it that I'm also going to show you. So if you have grates and stuff that you want to try to vacuum off, it'll show you the power of that as well. So we will get started here. I have a fully charged 20-volt battery that I'm going to insert in the top. The sucking power was the same with it plugged into the wall as it was just using the battery. And when it was the battery was dead, it essentially slowed down for like 5 seconds and then just completely died. There was no change in efficiency or power when the battery went low. It just died. This is a pretty decent size. A little bit heavy with the battery. Wouldn't want to really carry it around too much. I labeled it the gem sucker because I use it for prospecting, and it works really well. So here we go. We're just going to use the basic attachment on here. I'm going to do the dry stuff here. I'm going to do the carpet with the dirt that's ground into it that I stepped on, the grate with the dust and the grime stuck in it, and then I'm going to do a wet test where I'm going to suck up a bunch of water. So, the tube design itself seems pretty good. It's a little bit soft. You can see it actually did suck up these 7/16 bolts here. It did hesitate a little bit to suck up the bolts, but it did suck them up. The coins, gold dollars, quarters, nickels, dimes, and US currency, it had no problem sucking up whatsoever. Definitely a lot stronger than a small hand vacuum. Now I'm going to do the carpet with the dirt on it that I've been grinding in with my feet. I'm just going to elevate it here with the wand so that you can see it. And this is me using the battery power. So as far as this goes, it didn't get very deep down inside. There's still a significant amount of dirt in there. You'd have to take quite a bit of while of scrubbing and taking the vacuum over the top of it. The opening on here isn't very large as well, 2.5, maybe 3 inches at most. So for deep carpet and stuff like this, large nap or stuff in car crevices and seats, probably not the best option. But if you want something that's a good size for having in the car, and your car hasn't been abused too much, the interior is still pretty decent, and you vacuum regularly, I think this is a good candidate. And now let's take the filter out. We're going to undo this latch here, turn it around, undo the other latch on the other side here. It opens up, and then we have everything there for all the contents. Like I said here, didn't hesitate to pick up those quarters. So as far as sucking power, pretty decent. The filters for these are pretty expensive. I paid $100 for the vacuum on Amazon. The filters, I believe, are $25 or $30. So it might be good to wash these. This filter seems to be pretty clogged over just this first use right there. It's pretty dirty. So one of the notes that I had seen from someone else is that you go to the hardware store and you try to make something to slide over this that diverts the air away from the filter so that you are not clogging the filter faster. See how that just kind of sits open and then ends up in the filter. So yeah, the recommendation was that you get a little tube that runs down and then over, so that it kind of runs out into the box and then in through the filter, which I probably will end up doing. A lot of space in there. Seems pretty rigid. I don't think there's any reason why the latches would break unless you go banging it around a lot. They are kind of thin, kind of cheaply made. Otherwise the wiring seems really good. It seems pretty rigid. The tube seems pretty good. Let's go on next to the last one. You get those grates, you get those seats that it's stuck down that gooey, cruddy mess. You want to do some real cleaning. Let's vacuum this one quick and then we'll do the water test. Let's see if we can get this clean here. So that didn't do too great. If you're really trying to do some industrial cleaning or around the house cleaning, this isn't what you want. This is something for small objects, stuff like that. But then again, it didn't hesitate to pick up a quarter, but these small particles on here, it's just not enough sucking power if they're attached. It did clean a majority of it, but overall something like this would work good if you had a small brush and then was using this at the same time. It's a 45-minute battery life. It seems like a lot more work than it is, but that's why I bought the one with the cord, so that I have the option of having a small, lightweight unit with a fair amount of power. It definitely has a lot more power than a handheld vacuum. So now we're going to do the water. And for here, I have a 10-quart bucket, about a quart or two. And the procedure for this is to remove the filter itself, put everything back together, and then run it. So that's what I'm going to do here, and you'll see how quickly it takes up this about 2 quarts of water. So that took about 3 seconds. So there you have it. That is the review of the vacuum. I think this is an exceptional vacuum for the price. If you are looking for something that you can use with little scrub brushes or little tools and crevices to get things out and get things clean. Otherwise, this stuff here, it sucked up without any issue whatsoever. It's pretty strong. For a battery-powered vacuum, I was very surprised. Otherwise, if you're gonna need something that's sticky, or there's residue or goo or crumbs that are kind of stuck in fabric and such, or if you have carpet where the dirt is kind of ground in, this vacuum really doesn't have that type of sucking power to really release that dirt that's trapped in there. But otherwise, a good overall vacuum, definitely good for small last minute spills, dry or wet, and has a surprising amount of power for what it is. For $100, you can't really go wrong. I would just try to make sure you maintain the filters because they're a little bit pricey. But yeah, it's the review of the Dewalt 18 volt 20 volt compatible, corded dcv581h. Can be found on Amazon directly from Dewalt. And there you have it.